We now move on to NBA. Our next guest has had a strong season with us. We haven't seen him in 2 weeks. It's nice to have him back in action. Wednesday, April 26th, wasn't a great day for him, but overall, 58 and 51, 53.2%, plus 5.74 units, ROI plus 5.27%, average line minus 102. And his losses on that day were backing the Lakers, and the Lakers have proved him right. They just weren't right on Wednesday, April 26th. Please welcome from Los Angeles, California, Darryl Rice to the show. Darryl, how are you, my friend?
Yo, what is good, Jay? Always good to be talking ball with you. Yeah, been gone for a couple of weeks, had some stuff to take care of, man, but I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back, man. And like I say, especially over these last 2 weeks, any day on this side of the grass is a
good day, my friend. A good
really good day. So peace and love to everybody in the chat. Can't see what you guys are saying, but I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad for you to have me. Let's get to work, man.
We have missed you, my friend. It is great to have you back in action, and we have two monster games. We start the East semifinals, game 5, Miami leading the series 3-1. We have already heard from Spenny Pennybombs, who says the Heat close out this game. Thinks they finish off the Knicks. Jimmy Butler, 30 or more at plus 120. Slow Jams Arsenault on the other side. Knicks trifecta for Slow Jams. Tori Coker says Heat. But Knicks first half. Let's talk about the line history here. We're in Madison Square Garden. Piker saying yes, but does he give a fucking shit? The answer is yes. Yes, he does. He does right now. Now, maybe he won't at some point, but right now he does. We'll have to wait. As soon as he doesn't give a fucking shit, then we'll know to bet. Let's talk about the line history here. We have a slight move. Actually, I guess it's a slight move from what I've been watching, but this did open up at 3.5. It moved to 4. But now it's back at 3.5. So there's been 3 cents of movement to the Miami Heat over at Pinnacle. From a total side of things, it's opened up at 210. It's now at 208.5. 1.5 points of movement to the under. Take a look at the cash flow for this one. Cash flow wise, 41% of the tickets and 56% of the cash are on the Knicks. Market's not moving towards them. 32% of tickets and 99% of cash is on the under. 32 and 99% on the under. That's wild. It has dropped 1.5 points, and the series has been played at a slow pace, 93.63 possessions a game. Troy, I just dropped them for you, my man. So I have 32% of tickets, 99% of cash on the total, and on the money line. Oh, that was the money line. Sorry, of course. I was looking at spread. On the spread, 41 and 56 for the Knicks. So the pace being played at a slow pace, 93.63 possessions a game. During the regular season, the Heat were the 29th slowest or fastest team, the second slowest team at 96.76 possessions a game. They played quicker in the playoffs, 98.31. The Knicks were the 26th fastest team, 97.75 possessions. They played this playoff season slowly, 93.06 possessions a game. And Emmanuel Quickly not expected to be in the lineup. Has that changed at this point? Is Emmanuel Quickly doubtful? We have a possibility of being a doubtful here. Let us know. Troy Torrance says, wow, first time our numbers are this different. Troy, what are your numbers? I'd love to hear what your numbers are and what site, if we're going to be
quickly
off.
doubtful.
Still doubtful. All right. The Heat come in off an impressive 109-101 win at home in game 4. It was very impressive. I know they only won by 8, but they just seemed in control the entire time. So the Heat could be the second 8th seed to reach the conference finals. And the first since the Knicks in 1999. I saw the Knicks that year. I saw them in the second round against the Atlanta Hawks. They swept the Hawks. I saw game 2 or game 3. I can't remember. Again, it must be game 3 because the Hawks would have had home court. It was magic. It was magic in the Garden. Absolute magic. I'll never forget it. Here, though, Butler finished with 27, 10, and 6, and he is clearly in the heads of the Knicks. Spenny Pennybomb
Absolutely.
says this Knicks offense doesn't scare nobody. So stagnant.
No.
Same shit over and over. Randall or Brunson dribbling forever and then trying to drive, shooting long contested threes, no ball movement. Piker says, can you imagine how huge the bets must be on the under for the spread to be that wide between the tickets and cash? Yeah, there must have been just a huge bet, syndicate type bet on the under. The Knicks are playing sloppy. They're turning the ball over at an alarming rate, 52 turnovers over 4 games. The Heat have only turned the ball over 39 times. Miami's out rebounding the Knicks, getting offensive boards on the Knicks. And that did not happen during the regular season. During the regular season, the Knicks out rebounded the opposition by 4.5 rebounds a game. And that's stopped. Emmanuel quickly not going to be there. And Randall needs to be better. And when he said, maybe the Heat just want it more.
No, that was crazy, bro. No, that was crazy. Jimmy, I personally think that was the end of Randall being looked at as the leader of that squad, if you ask me, in comparison to what Brunson said. If you look at the two, the difference in those pressers, man, and what Brunson said and saying that he's got to do better, it rests on him. And then you got Randall, who apparently is the one who got the bag, who's supposed to be the leader, the locker room leader of that Knicks squad, saying that they wanted more. Man, come on. What is we doing? What is we doing here? So there's a couple things I want to point out about this game and why I think the Knicks are barbecue chicken. First off, as far as the first quarter and the first half, the Knicks are not really winning first halves. They've only won one first half since they've played each other. So they won the first game in the first half, and then after that, they've lost every first half. So they're 1-4 in first half covers. Now, mind you, yeah, 2 of those games, or what is it, 1-3? 1-3 in first half covers. They've only won 1 of those. So this Knicks first half isn't a lock. Look at the numbers here. Miami smacks them in the first quarter, smacks them in the first half. Miami, for this series, has covered every bet. They've covered the spread in every game. So why are we going away from them? If there was going to be a desperation mode for the Knicks, it should have been last game because they lost the game on their home court. They lost it. So thinking that Miami can't go back to the Knicks home court and smack them like they did in game 2? Or was it game 1? I'm sorry. Then you're mistaken.
The Knicks were lucky to win the game 2 without Butler.
Yeah. So you're mistaken. You're absolutely mistaken. Miami covers that spread, which was 10. The closing line on that was 10. Miami still covers that with no Butler.
Yeah.
So
lucky.
I don't.
Knicks were lucky.
Yeah. I don't know why we're getting so gung-ho about the Knicks. Obviously, there's a difference of opinion in that locker room. Julius Randle has not been that guy. As a matter of fact, remember last series when Julius got sat down by Tibbs in the fourth quarter, the game that New York won, he didn't even congratulate his team. He walked off the court. Why are you mad by you winning a game in the postseason? So Randle is not that guy, okay? So I wouldn't be quick to take the Knicks in the first half. If you look at how the Heat are playing versus the Knicks, the Heat have multiple guys that are scoring double digits. And right now, all you're depending on is Randall, Barrett, and Brunson to get busy. And those are pretty consistent. But if you ask me, the Heat are more, I guess, they're just spread across the board evenly, where everybody's going to get touches and everybody's going to get the ball. And you're going to have more people scoring in double digits. And that's what's happened. And that cohesion only gets better as time goes by. This is a game, in my opinion, to where what I can't do is test a high-quality athlete's desperation. So I couldn't take a side. I couldn't. I honestly believe the Heat can get this done. And this is a game where the Heat are going to sit back, win this game, and then go on a rest. But I'm going to tell you what I do like. And I've already stepped on it. Max Strus over 11.5 points. Max Strus over 11.5 points. The guy is giving you an average of almost 10 threes a game. Right now, he's highly juiced to over 2.5 threes at minus 124 in this game. He's giving you 19, 16, 17, and the first game at 8 points, right? So he's hit over 11.5, which that number has only increased, 3 of the last 4 games they played. And this is going to be a closeout game to where, yeah, you do have Jimmy Buckets going balls to the wall here, but they've been winning by committee. That's how they've been winning games, if you look at it. They're kind of doing exactly what the Lakers are doing, where you could contain AD and Bron at times because these guys are old and they're going to rest during the game. And then we'll talk about that later, but there's other guys that are stepping up and winning games. You're seeing that with the Heat, where there's other guys who's stepping up and contributing to the Heat win. So in my opinion, I'm going to look at the guy who's more consistent, who's throwing up threes, jacking them up left and right, and that's Max Strus. Max Strus over 11.5 points. I've already stepped on that. I think that's a good spot.
What was the juice associated?
Minus 115 is where I got it.
Minus 115 on Max Strus over 11.5 points. Obviously my conference bet looks bad. 33-1 on the Knicks. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to bet the Heat here. At this point, I don't know what Bam is going to be able to do against Joel Embiid if that is the matchup. So I'm just going to have to sit back and take the L on my Knicks futures if that happens tonight. I'm very curious to see if Randall can step up. I did not like hearing that comment.
No, I didn't either.
I know that Brunson's going to fight hard, and I know that Madison Square Garden's going to be just popping. So I'm off of this spot, but I do have interest.
Wait, okay, Jimmy. Quick question for you: what about Randall has showed you that he's going to be any different in this game? I mean, this is the same player who flipped off his own fan base after a game. Right? There's nothing about Randall that tells me he is him. It's not.
No, I agree.
No.
I agree, but but I'm not going to, just with the position I have on the Knicks, I'm not going to look. I understand that the Heat look like sharp action and that we saw the Heat as 11.5 point dogs against the Bucks. And that was on your last show. We talked about that. Your last show, for Friday, April 22nd, the Heat Bucks game 5 was that day. And, we thought that the Heat would want to rest up, give it a shot at home, and they manned up and finished the series.
You rest up after the series.
Yeah. No, I agree. And maybe I'm leaving money on the table, not backing the Heat. But, I've got a position on the Knicks, and I'm just going to let it play.
Fair enough, but I'll say this. By the look of yesterday's game, right, Boston is barbecue chicken. And it's more or less the coaching rather. Mazzulla just doesn't know how to make those adjustments when he's having adjustments, schemed up against him. So I don't think Boston beats Philly out of that series. It's in Miami's best interest to try to end this tonight to see what happens with Boston and Philly. We need the rest advantage. Everyone's going to talk about rest advantage and things of that nature. But you're going to need some type of rest going against Philly. So it's in Miami's best interest. And I mean, that's just how the culture works, that they need to end this tonight.
Not Flush Allen says team total 106 is low-hanging fruit. Team total over 106 for the Knicks.
Yeah, but wow. I mean, Knicks has only clipped 106 one time during the series, bro. Knicks 101, first game, 101, second game, 111, that was it. Third game, 86, fourth game, 101. You're really expecting these guys to come out and ball. And the problem is they're just not draining those shots at all.
Kong's Clip says, in his humble opinion, he thinks Julius Randle was trying to rally the troops by saying Miami wants him more. I believe they come out hot and don't look back.
Uh,
I think he worded it poorly, Kong's Clips. I think if you
yeah.
wanted to galvanize the troops, you would say, how bad do we want to win? Let's find out in game 5 how bad we want to win. Because I know the players in that room want something like that. Not, I guess they just wanted a little more than us.
It'd be different if he didn't have a history of just bad antics and bad comments. I mean, this is just an ongoing history.
Brunson's a real one.
saying all the right things.
He's
saying all the right things.
It's too bad Quickly's not there. He was a big part of why I wanted this team in the playoffs. It's funny how a team can be deep as the ocean, and then they lose the 6th man of the year, and you're like, wait, where is everybody? So. Look,
I couldn't you don't know. That's why I stay away from a side here, because I mean, it's quite as kept. The Knicks are still a good team. They've been good all year. But I hear you, Nut Flush. Yeah, but to me, and that's why I can't really gauge a side. Like I said, Heat should win this, should close them out good today. They've covered every spread in this series. So you just kind of go with that formula. But this is desperation mode. You're at home on your home court. The stars will be out. That's why I just decided to stick with the side. I'm going Max Strus over 11.5.
Yeah. DC Capper. But they did beat the Cavs at plus 170 for me in the first round, which pays for all of my future action. So, when you take a dog at plus 170 to win the first round and they do in 5 games, well, then you're right. Then you're right. You're just fucking right. So I was right. That's what happened. I was right, and I made money, and now my futures are all paid for. I mean, call it what you want to call it. I'm a fucking alcoholic. All right, so that's game 1. Why are we not on the under in this spot here?
I looked at that too. I did look at that too, but it's yeah, I looked at that too. And looking at this series, Jay, I mean, there has been a zigzag as far as over under. First game under, second game over, third game under, fourth game over. So if we're just going by that rhythm, that cycle, this game should go under, right? This is at 209.5 again. These games have this game hasn't been higher than 210 as far as the closing total. So up, down, right? Is it up? And then maybe we go under here. I couldn't talk anybody off of that. But at the same token, if we're looking especially at what Nut Flush is saying, then one of these teams isn't going to hit the century mark. And we honestly thinking that the rhythm that Miami is on, that they won't get there. So if you've got the Knicks at 106, right, then that means you're going to keep this Heat team at like 199 points. So, something's got to give. And because I don't see the Knicks team total over, I can't really gauge that because I'm thinking the Heat's going to win this game. Then I would still probably look at the Knicks not going to 100 points. Therefore, having that under makes sense. But really, I mean, what do you the Heat, are you going to keep them from under 100? I don't see it. Haven't been all series. Miami has not been under 100 all series.
I mean, I can understand what Piker's talking about with so much money on the under, moving a 1.5 points. I get it. I'm going to spend more time with this under. I'm interested in it. I split with my unders yesterday, but caught the Nuggets, so it was an okay day. I'm going to spend a little more time. But Max Strus over 11.5 points. I like the look. We have another huge game that's very near and dear to your heart. So let's move on to game 2. 10 p.m. Eastern, West semifinals, game 5. Lakers leading the series 3-1. And how deep have they all of a sudden become? Pimp slap play today is the Golden State Warriors minus 6.5, going for 4 winners in a row. I bet it too. And it was when we talked about yesterday, I was like, well, how am I not on the Nuggets if I like the Warriors in this spot? So I moved on the Nuggets at a worse line than others, and it didn't matter. And now I moved on the Warriors at a worse line than others. I got 6.5 too. Maybe that's going to hurt. It's funny because I when Warriors had all these guys coming back and looking healthy, and Wiggins was back, and I was like, God, this is a deep basketball team. But the Lakers are the deep basketball team in this series. This series has been played at 100.13 possessions a game. They both played faster in the regular season. The Warriors were the fastest, 102.54 possessions a game. Lakers 101.92. The Warriors have been playing the playoffs at exactly the same speed they played it all regular season. Lakers are really close, so no help there. At least when you're playing it at 92 or 91, 93 possessions a game, then you have to be efficient to get to the over. And the Celtics Sixers game became quite efficient, or lack of defense, or lack of defensive intensity in the second half. The first half did cash, but here that this is a pretty brisk pace. Let's take a look at the line history here. We have the Warriors opening up at -5.5. They're now -7. From a total standpoint, this opened up at 226 and it's now 225. From a cash flow scenario, 58% of the tickets and 84% of the cash are on the Warriors. And from a total side of things, 58% of tickets, 93% cash on the under. That's a lot of money on the under for the line not to be moving. Myron Kidd says Looney's been put on a milk carton lately. It's funny because of all the positive things that were said about Kevon until this. But
no, that's oof. Jimmy, before this series started, I had my buddy and I, we were texting back and forth about Looney, right? And he said Looney in this series would literally be non-existent. And I'm like, okay, bro, what'd you have to drink this early in the morning? I mean, I haven't even gotten my wine yet. But he had some good takes about AD being more, just being a better big, obviously, than Domantas Sabonis. And, Looney has been non-existent. Anybody thought he would carry over those rebound numbers from the Sacramento game to this game was highly mistaken. Highly, highly mistaken. And so, yeah, he's been non-existent. Now, these last two games, I believe he's been sick. Sick with something. Not sure, but he's been sick.
It's been tough. Now, we all want Game 6 in Los Angeles, just from a fan perspective. The Lakers did just enough to win Game 4. Austin Reeves is outplaying Klay Thompson badly. And then Lonnie Walker steps up. So Klay has scored 24 points in the two losses, the last two losses, those two losses in LA. 24 points and was 8 of 25 from the field. The Warriors have won 19 straight series against the West. They've been down 3-1 twice in the last 7 years, and they won one and they lost one. This feels so similar to the Nuggets spot last night. I think the Warriors take care of business here.
Wow.
Okay,
so it's a system play, right? But did that work for Boston yesterday?
No, this is the play. It's that the bench and role players step up at home and are invisible under pressure on the road. And this team needs more than Steph Curry. Every time they play at home in San Francisco, I mean, you look at the role players step up. We already heard from Spenny that he's on DiVincenzo and Wiggins props, because they're at home. It's it's just that. It's that we knew that it was only Jokic and Jamal Murray in Phoenix. They come home and the role players
everybody
step
get
up.
loose. Right.
That's
everybody gets loose.
So it's not as simple as nothing. It's just that I expect the role players to step up, hit some big threes, and the Warriors to take this game back to crypto.
Yeah. So one of these teams are undefeated at home in the postseason right now, and one of these teams ain't. That's one thing. One of these teams are making some serious adjustments. Well, and let's talk about that for a quick second. Curry is playing balls to the wall right now. He's probably going to have to do it this game. I saw something on BetMGM that 99% of the bets are on his over. Went from 30.5, now I'm seeing 31.5. Might even get to 32.5. Okay. Kerr, the coach, right, sits Looney down. Looney comes off the bench, brings in JaMychal Green because he's thinking JaMychal can shoot that three. JaMychal does shoot the corner three, unlike Looney, which will then entail have AD be honest, if you will, and come out of the paint. Come out of the paint. Tries that, doesn't work. Now you've got Gary Payton coming in to put AD in the pick and roll. You know, you're going to go small. And that game plan actually does kind of work, but you're not having your role players play as they should. Steph Curry went off that game, and I think he was terrible from behind the arc. Terrible from behind the arc. If I'm right, looking at that last game, his threes, I mean, Curry put up 31 points and was only 3 for 14 from the arc. So this is what I'm looking at here. There's always a role player who could step up for the Lakers. Not necessarily the case in Golden State's end, on Golden State's end. And because there's a role player that can step up for the Lakers, how do you game plan against that if you're Kerr and you not know who that role player is going to be? So you could have Austin Reeves step up, who's making some serious strides to be, you know, a really good pivotal player on this Lakers team moving forward in the future. You got Dennis Schroeder, who could possibly step up. You don't know where D'Lo Russell is, but D'Angelo can possibly step up. No one game plan for Lonnie Walker. As a matter of fact, I smacked on his under 7.5 points last game. You see what happened there in the fourth quarter. He went balls to the wall, 15 points. You can't really game plan for Rui Hachimura, right? So this is what works out to me on the Lakers end. The Lakers can absolutely win this game tonight. They can absolutely win this game tonight. And looking at the cycle of AD, what happens? He's on, he's off. He's on, he's off. He's on, he's off. That's just how it goes. So this could be a game that AD goes off. They kind of stepped away from that game plan, but you got to understand, they just like they were putting AD in the pick and roll, they were putting a pick and LeBron was hunting for Curry. And when they got Curry in a switch, LeBron was just bringing him down to the basket and scoring layups, right? Absolutely no defense, complete mismatch on the Curry and LeBron angle. Jordan Poole is non-existent, completely lost his confidence here. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Poole. So now you're down to Curry and potentially Klay Thompson being your only scorers when, just like Miami, Lakers have several players who can score and put the ball in the basket. So coming from just an angle of desperation and you're down 3-1, that's not enough for me personally to take Golden State. I'm just looking at how Kerr made the adjustments that he made last game, and it didn't work. Lastly, I'll say this, and this is just a little bit of basketball teaching for you. That last play where Draymond jumps out of bounds and mishandles the ball, they ran a hammer. That was a hammer action on Golden State's end. And LeBron was able to sniff that out, and they got the turnover. Do you know why that action is called the hammer? Because it was named after Darvin Ham, the head coach of the Lakers. You don't think they can see that adjustment? That's kind of ballsy on Kerr's end to actually run that action against the coach that action was named after. Right? So you're just kind of trying to throw everything but the kitchen sink if you're Kerr. And at this point, he's going to do everything, throw everything and the kitchen sink here if it kind of gets bad. And I feel the Lakers have the advantage here. Lakers have to win this game because they're being an older team. You think that Denver game is probably going to go 7. You need about a week's rest. And they can get it here if you win the game. So I do like the Lakers here. I haven't stepped on it just yet. I've seen what this line does.
Oh, you can get. You'll probably get a hook. You'll probably get 7.5 if you wait.
Yeah, yeah. I'm seeing how much more money comes in on Golden State, but I do like the Lakers here. And I'm trying. The reason why I haven't stepped on it is because I'm trying not to be that fan of the Lakers. I'm trying to look at both sides and have just a conservative argument on why the Lakers could win. But Golden State blew these boys out by almost 30 points when their backs were against the wall. That second game that they played.
I was hoping. I was hoping that play was named after Oakland native MC Hammer.
Nope.
You got to pray just to make it today.
I say we pray. No, man, that's named after Darvin Ham.
You got to pray.
Darvin Ham was running that action, making threes when he was playing, bro.
Pray.
And Curry's gonna run that hammer. Do the typewriter. No, man. But yeah, so to me, I like the Lakers. I like them here. I think I'm hoping by just rhythmic things, AD has a game today. He was good in the first half, only got up 4 shots the second half. I don't know what changed between that first half and second half, but I do like the Lakers here.
Yeah, well, wait. Be patient. Wait. Just be patient and wait if you want it. I can't wait to watch this game tonight.
Me too, man.
It makes things tough for these East Coast Cappers. Now we get it better because we can get up at 5 and it's 2 a.m. For you guys, but it's tough when these games pop off. This one's at least at 10, not at 10:30. Spenny Pennybomb says, I will say the biggest mistake that Golden State made is not keeping Looney in the starting lineup. If you're not right or something, different story, but they should have Looney out there starting again.
Yeah, but the problem is he's barbecue chicken against AD. You saw that in the first game. He's just barbecue chicken against AD. Now, you lose an outside shooter, so AD can just kind of clog up that paint. And AD is just a bona fide rim protector when he's on his game, and he gets boards. So you bring in JaMychal Green in because then you can force AD to kind of play outside because JaMychal shoots those corner threes. He was doing that with the Clippers, right? And so that kind of doesn't work. Now you bring in Gary Payton to play small ball, put him in a pick and roll, and that actually has been the most effective. But you still don't get the job done. So I don't know what they do. But yeah, let me do this, Jimmy. Let me tell you this really quick. Only because I want to get the verbiage right, and then you're good. I got a hot take for the Lakers. I don't think Looney is even playable against the Lakers. Way too slow-footed, and there is no Sabonis on the Lakers. He won't be able to defend the pick and roll, and he can't get out on Vanderbilt in the corner. Now, the Vanderbilt is a hot take. No one cares about that. Also, when he's on AD, he can help. He can't help side, so he can't run to the help side on defense. So that was what he said before the series even started. I mean, it's a completely different animal than Sabonis. So yeah, listen, Kerr knew that, which is why you made the adjustment as quick as he did, bringing in JaMychal Green.
A lot of questions, and wow, you know what? Anonymous said there's lots of 7.5s out there. Well, the first 8 just appeared.
So, do you see an 8?
Heritage is now at 8. Heritage is a legit trusted.
See, that's scary. That's scary too, because this is what the Denver line did, right? I won. I played Denver yesterday at 8.5, I believe. I got to look at it, and I won that bet. So here's a narrative also, Jimmy. I know we keep this one. I really keep thinking about it. Did you see the narrative going out on the sports networks? And the question was asked. This is by Mike Greenberg. Should the Lakers rest their players to just close it out in Game 6? Why are we even talking about resting players in a Game 5? Why? That's one big narrative. And then you saw the other narrative about the Stephen Fleury dog that's predicted everything right with this series and has the Warriors winning in Game 7. But for what it's worth, that's so biased because it's obviously a Warriors fan who's running that TikTok account. Secondly, if you looked at the games he predicted prior to that, he predicted Warriors in 6 against Sacramento. So throw that out the door. If you're using your capping on a Corgi that's hitting a doggone inflatable basketball from the top of the stairs, please call 1-800-GAMBLER right now.
You know, when I was in Costa Rica, I had a monkey that I hung out with and every morning when I'd go over to, I named him Spidey. I would go talk to Spidey and I'd go in every single day, had a morning coffee with Spidey. And they were like, go over and get Spidey to pick who's going to win the Kentucky Derby.
Spidey.
And I was like, no. And they're like, what? What do you mean? Like, it was like a meeting, like 8 people there. And they were like, what do you mean? No, what do you mean? No, go do that. Go and no, I'm not. It's serious shit. We spent hours and hours and hours capping this horse race. I'm not going to go over and get a monkey to pick the fucking horse winner. And they were like appalled. They were so upset. Like it was like insubordination. They're like, no, we want you to go film this. And I said, fuck no. How about that?
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Fire me. I'm not going over and shooting this. So it was a huge, huge fight I had. It was my first year down there. And it was like basically I was being insubordinate. Because I was like, no, I'm not. Get somebody else to fucking do it. I'm not doing it.
You know? Yeah. You remember when they had the octopus with the World Cup? And dude with like, did he go like undefeated?
I don't care.
I don't care. I think he bet against Germany or something. Like, what are we doing, bro?
I don't care what the fucking octopus did. You know what? You can get 8. I'm going to be very interested if you tweet out a look on the Lakers. We had a couple cappers come in. Norman Ross said, fuck it, Lakers money line. We also had
dang it.
We also had somebody say it's you saturated. Says me and Darryl versus the world.
I like saturated. Where's that 8 at now? I'm just assuming it's minus 115.
The Heritage line at 8 is at minus. It's a pick'em at 8, minus 108.
My God, this is what messed me up the last time I bet the Lakers, and I'm just gonna do it. I don't think that number gets higher than 8.5. We're definitely not shooting 9s out here. What's the first half number? Give me the first half and first quarter number.
Okay, we'll start with first quarter. First quarter on the Lake Show. The Heritage has a 3 at minus 110 either way. They're the first 3s. First half.
Lakers 22.
First half, everybody has 5 except Pinnacle and 5 Dimes of the books that I look at. So 3, 5, 8.
Okay, I'm looking now at the Lakers' history. Even the game they lost, they beat them first half. Oh, Golden State got them first half. 56-60. I'm not going to be too impulsive, but I think I'm going to get there with the Lakers. Let me wait on this. Let me do a little more digging on this. I might even have a Lakers trifecta spot here.
Oh, my good God. Well, please tag me so I can follow along. You've had an excellent season this year after a spectacular season last year. And that kind of consistency is very difficult. So we'll all be very, very interested. Troy Torrance says, I think someone might be out for LA. I can't find any information on that, but we will wait
look at the injury report
from Darryl. There's Jacqueline in the house. Great to see you, Jacqueline. We'll wait to hear from Darryl if he moves on the Lakers, but he did move on Strus over 11.5 points. I'm going to stick with my 6.5 on the Warriors.
For the Warriors. Okay.
But I am going to study the under in that Knicks Heat game. And I guess the problem is the Heat, if they've got, if Gabe Vincent and Strus start hitting from 3, I mean, forget about your under.
Curtains.
So that makes me a little nervous, but I will be looking at it here. And I think I want to keep things clean, pretty clean. So
listen, man, that's going to go. If Quickly doesn't play, it's curtains. It is absolutely curtains for the Knicks. You can wrap that up.
Darryl, I love these Wednesdays with you, my friend. We missed you last week, but you're a big part of our show, and we thank you for everything.
Appreciate
Strus
you.
official over 11.5 points. We'll see what else is official from the
That's
Lakers
official.
camp. Get that cash, my man. Thank you for joining us. Please follow Darryl on Twitter at It's Darryl. And a very strong, consistent season you had. And you didn't get off to a good start. You got off to a poor start, and you cleaned it up fast.
Like the Lakers.
58 and 51. 53.2% plus 5.74 units, ROI plus 5.27%, average line minus 102. And Mark Schillingberg can't get Hammer out. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Can't get him out of his head.
Hammer.
Please,
Don't hurt him. Man, trust me. I know, man. I mean, that's sad, but I was a big Hammer fan, bro.
I went to a Hammer concert. I went to a Hammer concert when I was at Okanagan Hockey School. I was 12.
Yeah,
I went with my sister. My sister.
Listen, Jimmy, I had Hammer pants, bro.
No, I never went that far.
I wore Hammer pants to my 8th grade formal. Dead ass. I did.
I love it.
Sure did, man. Hey, quick question before I get out of here. What do you think about JJ? What do you think about JJ Redick in Toronto?
I think it would be fucking great. That's what I think.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's intelligent. I think he's thoughtful.
Very intelligent.
I think he's not afraid to make stands. I think he knows basketball.
He does.
I would absolutely. I'd be all for it. And what have we seen in the highest level of coaching in NHL and in NBA is that, and in NFL too, is that these coaches that are in their 30s, they can relate to the players better than these fucking dinosaurs. And when you hear shit from Huggins, you're like, get these guys the fuck out and let's get the new breed of coaches in there. So I would be all for it.
Yeah, I like that move too. Very, very high IQ basketball. Very, very knowledgeable, and you're going to get at least 2 wins or a couple wins against New Orleans because he hates the Pelicans. Absolutely,
he gets a lot of. I love how he steps up in front of ignorance, and he hates certain. I've been very impressed with everything he's done. Spenny says he wants Becky Hammond. One thing we know is that Masai will make the right decision. He's a guy that we can trust. He's very intelligent, and so I'm excited by all of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Respect. There's Ron Crawford in the house. I love rocking with you, my man. Have a great day. Can't wait to see you again.
Appreciate
next Wednesday.
Brother.
Looking forward to see what you tweet out. And thank you for making time for us. It's Darryl. Any last words for the Cappies here supporting the show, my man?
Hey, man, be healthy, y'all. Be healthy. Drink water. I will see y'all next week.
There he is. It's Darryl.